x-rays of chest, abdomen, and pelvis, just to make sure that we know exactly what the result of the car crash was. The chest looks very normal, no evidence of pneumothorax or any other traumatic things we usually see associated with hit-by cars.
Okay.
The abdomen has good detail. There doesn't look to be any free fluid in the abdomen. The bladder as well looks like it's intact. We were worried about that because of the bloody urine.
Right.
We had to make sure that that is the case. So, like, from the x-rays, I do believe it's intact.
Okay.
There's sort of some granular material within the stomach, suggested that maybe we were eating some, pebbles or, something we shouldn't have eaten. I do see the same thing in the colon as well, so I think Brandon is able to pass some of this. So I'm wondering with fluid therapy whether this will be able to go through. There's no evidence of plication or anything in the gut suggested that this is being obstructive at this time.
Okay.
So I think that will be a non-issue, but it's something we need to know he has.
Okay.
So the most important thing that we're looking at is the pelvis. These two radiographs are of the pelvis. This one is the one on his back and on the side. You can see there's multiple fractures, some of which look that they're chronic, and actually some that look that they're acute. So it's hard to tell which one. From
chronic meaning old.
Yeah, from first glance, this one looks like it might be actually like an old fracture. This is the one of the condyle of the femur, one of the heads, and this is where all the gluteal muscles attach to. It does look like it's fractured, so this is one of the fractures that needs to be repaired.
Yeah.
Another fracture is here in the pelvis. These, you can see that there's sort of a malalignment of this area of the pelvis too, so I think that there's a fracture of this pubis.
Yeah.
And as well the femoral head here. So what happened probably is this is actually a slip. We call it a femoral head slip, so I think sort of suggestive that maybe he is a growing animal still, because it sort of looks like it's a fracture at the growth plate. So if you see on this side, there's sort of like a loosened area just under the femoral head. That's sort of where on this side it's separated from itself. So the head is still within the acetabulum, but this part is sort of come loose.
Okay.
And there may or may not be a fracture here as well. So I think all in all, it's sort of good news because neurologically we're intact. The spine looks good. He's able to stand. He has withdrawal reflexes. So I think neurologically he's checking out, which sometimes we do worry about with spinal fractures.
Right.
He's got good anal tone, so I don't think he'll be incontinent in that respect.
Okay.
He's able to pee on his own too, so I think basically we're only dealing with pelvic fractures, which is the good news. To repair what's going on, we're going to have to do 2 different surgeries. Potentially they can be done on the same day. That I haven't discussed yet with the surgeon. One is going to be to repair this, which basically will probably involve what's called an FHO, femoral head ostectomy, where we're going to sever the bone here to here and actually just remove this entire piece. And so basically we're going to make the femur not actually attached to the pelvis at all. The femur is going to be in the open here, and it's going to attach to all the muscles, and eventually he'll be able to learn, with physical therapy, that he can walk on those legs on his own, on that leg. Because this part of the bone attaches to all the gluteal muscles, we'll have to actually put a pin in this bone to attach it to the femur, this fractured piece. So 2 separate surgeries. I've tried to start looking at quotes for how much this costs, and usually for an FHO, I have to use my cheat sheet here. An FHO is $35,000 to $4,000, and so that's just for the one side. An FHO is for this side, and the pin placement is going to be around an extra $1,000. So all in all, probably $5,000 for just the fracture repair, including hospitalization afterwards for a normal amount of time, pending no complications. That doesn't include what we've done today. Up until today, I know we discussed it'll be around $1,000. Before we do anything, I'm going to have to get an estimate from the financial people upstairs and just make sure that we've tallied everything that has happened and everything that will happen, and make sure